Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's reading. So, very appropriately, I used one of my tarot decks to gather an inspiration to direct to this reading. And this beautiful Two of Cups came up. And what I got when this is so perfect for Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow. I'll be posting this on the 13th. And whether or not you celebrate Valentine's Day, the thing is that within the human collective across the planet, there is a focus on love. There is a focus on connection. And so it doesn't even matter if you are celebrating. That is the vibe on the planet on a particular day, just like at Christmas time or Easter, other holidays, the New Year. It's a vibe that just overtakes. It's like the sun shining down on all of us. And so what I got when I was looking at this beautiful Two of Cups were these words. And this is specific to you. What is it about your specific connection, your magnetism? What is the vibe within you that is meant to be celebrated? What is it that I think people can very readily see, whatever this aspect is, they can readily see it within you, but we have a hard time seeing and believing in those aspects within ourselves. We don't really take the time to celebrate what our own magnetism is, what our own sense of connection is, our very special vibe when it comes to, this is the deepest of connections, the Two of Cups. It shows being in sync with another. And I think the cards are going to speak to whatever this kind of special vibe is within you that wants to be celebrated. And I do believe that other people can see this in you. But it's not a selfish thing, and it's not a narcissistic type of thing to look at that aspect within us. And with all of us, humans are very complex. And so there's many things that are part of your magnetism, part of how people connect to you. And you could be the most quiet, introverted sort of person, and still, within the human condition, this is it's like table stakes. We all have a magnetism. We all do seek to connect with another. And this is connection on a deep and meaningful level. It doesn't have to be in terms of romantic love. This is something that your friends see in you, your family. And I just want to celebrate you. As I'm looking at this beautiful little heart in the snow created by the animals who tromp through this forest here. And I just want to celebrate you. And what is this ability that you have to connect, to offer to another? And this is not anything about doing stuff. This is literally a vibration within you. And you know those times, the people you've met, where they're literally, it just feels like a magnetism. It's hard to describe. But it's because you hold something that kind of completes them, no matter what type of relationship it is. And this can even be, for instance, in the work setting. You might work with a particular person, perhaps not all that often, but every now and then. And still there is this magnetism. It is such a joyous kind of experience because it's like you complete each other's thoughts and you find yourself on the same wavelength. And that's what I'm getting at with this week's reading, okay? So not so much about romantic love again. It's more about this special connection power within you, and are you aware of it? And now at Valentine's Day is a perfect time to celebrate this. And then as you bring your awareness to it, as you explore whatever your topic is for the card or cards, you can choose more than one that you choose, you can kind of delve into how that relates to you. And where you see that, or if you see that, pop up consciously in your interactions with other people. Because we all hold very special methods that help us to connect with humans, which again, it's really a core element of being human, is connecting in some form and through various types of relationships. Okay? So let's get started here. And I love these cards because they're all decks that I don't necessarily use that often, and they all have the fairy energy. They all carry the energy of the elementals, and you all know how much I love that. So I'm looking forward to what these have to say. The first card up is from the Fairy Forest deck. And this is Other World, is the card number 44. Oh my gosh, you are angelic. The 44 is a master number pointing to the angelic realm. Okay? This card says veil, illness, and transition. It's a lot like the death card, isn't it, in the tarot? And people get downright frightened by that stuff. The thing is, what I get with this card, you have very scorpionic kind of energy, the sign of Scorpio within astrology. You are unafraid to go deep. Meaningful connection, that doesn't even begin to describe this special vibration within you. It has to be real. It has to be true. There's got to be authenticity, because anything else is like lying, is what I feel. It's not meaningful to you. It doesn't make you more and the other person more. I feel like when you are in a relationship of any kind here, you want to make it matter. You want to make it worth it. That's what I get from the Other World card. And this is directly derived from the angelic energy. Okay? So to look past these words about illness and transition, and everybody gets all shaken in their boots about that stuff. No, this is deep and meaningful connection. And you are very likely, this is true with people with strong Scorpio energy, you have a really strong trigger, an ability to pick up on bullshit. People who are feeding you a line. And in relationships, that just doesn't feel right to you. It doesn't literally sit well within your gut. You feel like it isn't a true connection, and so why spend the time working on it? Why spend time investing in it? The vibration here that I'm getting is that you take a lot of pride and pleasure in really exploring what types of connection. Again, all parts of your life. I'm not just talking about romantic love. You really want to make your investment in your time worth it. Because meanwhile, the 44 energy, the angels are always very concerned about the exchange between beings to be meaningful and, what do I want to say here? To benefit both, to like both the boats float on the surface, making the boats float on the top of the water. You want it to be mutually beneficial. And there's a purity about that you really, it's just not worth it to you to have fake friendships. You'd rather have, one or two really, really good friendships and really put your all into it. And by that, I mean you're willing to lay down whatever, and you're willing to talk about any subject, and you're willing to freely express how you feel, and you absolutely are inviting the other in the relationship to do the same. There is complete transparency here. This is not about hiding away and not wanting relationships. No, it's about wanting authenticity. And again, the bullshit factor, that trigger with you is very high. And this is a vibration that other people can pick up on it, because there are a lot of people who spoon out a lot of bullshit. I do it. I've done it. I can't say that it's my regular go-to, but I've certainly done that within my life. You know, you put on a face and you bring yourself to the party and okay, I'm going to do this, and you play the part. You are not one to play a part. What people get with you is real, is the rubber meets the road. And that is something to be celebrated, because there is a lot of bullshit flying around with everybody. We've all got that part within us, And I think we'd be lying to ourselves if we said that we didn't ever do that. But what you're looking for and what you offer, and people can feel this in your vibration, is that authenticity. And you will very readily drop out of a connection with another, no matter how minimal or how grand it may be. If you're feeling like you're not getting the truth of who someone is, and equally important, that you're not able to truly be and act in the way that is authentic for you. That is equally important, very important. Okay? Really something to be celebrated. You're the real deal. Okay? Real deal. And when you really care about somebody, when you really love somebody, when you really enjoy working alongside someone, there is nothing more authentic, because you bring the truth and the wholeness of what those words really mean. Love, connection, magnetism, like helping like. Even if you have very, very different viewpoints, you open each other up. And almost the more guttural, the deeper you can get into understanding the other person's viewpoint, or at least just listening to it. It's the authenticity that floats your boat. Okay? And it really, this is something to be celebrated. The second card up is, oh Lord, I should have looked up the name of this. I think it's Animal Spirit Oracle, something like that. I love the artwork on this. It's very colorful. This is the Dolphin Spirit, and it says, "This and that are true. You, my friend, are what I would call a harmonizer." The dolphins, in my work with animals, I've found, not that I've done direct work with marine animals, but I feel that dolphins are the most intuitive and the grandest healers when it comes to the marine life. I personally feel that horses are the most powerful healers for land animals. And so with the dolphin, it's this bit of magic that you bring in opening people up to fun through your personality, in making the childish and the playful appear very acceptable and very much welcomed. And the dolphins, it's because of their very whimsical experience, and it's why people swim with the dolphins. Very gentle but welcoming and friendly kind of energy. That is what makes them great healers, because they're so approachable. These are aspects of you that I'm talking about. That approachability makes people feel welcomed. It's like walking into a house, and the experience of you is like walking in and smelling apple pie, and oh, you're here and the fire is lit, and let's have cocoa together, and let's talk about what our, what we, the funniest thing that's happened to us this week, or a perspective that changed, and isn't that interesting? It doesn't get too serious. And again, this is an aspect of your magnetism that people feel very enveloped within the energy of knowing you. It makes them feel like they're being hugged. You're sending out healer vibes without knowing you're doing it, because you're doing it in a way that is it's about harmony. It's about establishing connection. You love that, of really truly wanting to connect. And for so many people, a very strong way to do this is the use of humor, which is very strong with the dolphin spirit. Very playful, so we can be adults and be very serious and have our moments to do that. But when it comes to turning on your magnetism, the connection, this special vibe for you to celebrate, it's really about allowing that whimsical spirit to come forward and recognizing this bit of magic that you have. How is it that people find this sense of harmony and the fun of play and switching? This is also like switching up the routine, like not being too deadly serious about everything. It's being willing to, get up and have leftovers from the dinner the night before for your breakfast, or being willing to eat the dessert before you have the main meal. It's just out of the blue. Let's take a ride and, drive to 3 states away today. And we don't have any particular destination. It's just, what are we going to discover? What are we going to see? These are the feelings that I sense that people pick up on from you. And again, something to be celebrated, is this whimsy of life. I love it. The final card is the Healing with the Fairies deck. So I said heavy fairy energy this week. And this is self-reliance. Oh my gosh. You know what? I have worked with this deck for a long time, and I do not believe I have ever pulled this card. Ever. So the feeling I get when I look at this is a few things. First of all, you're willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to strip down to bare naked, just like this fairy in this card. You're willing to let it all show. You're willing to let the emotions run as they will, because what you know is that you always rise. Even from what may feel very heavy, very dense, you rise. Somehow you rise. And this is, the line that I think so many of our grandmothers have said in our time, that this too shall pass. This is the energy that I feel people feel from you, is that you're a sense of support, because you point people. You may not know you do this. You point people back to themselves and say, you know what? Remember that time that you did X, and then how quickly that shifted, how quickly that changed, because you almost had to feel that sense of like, kind of at the bottom of the barrel sort of feeling, just this frustration or sadness, whatever it may be. And that is what rocketed you to then get into a whole new headspace that you didn't even know was available. This is the kind of support that people feel from you, and they feel it from your example. And so to look at, to ponder for yourself, how do I do this? This is self-reliance. I am capable. And there's a certain amount of resiliency, but it isn't about, I'm not getting a vibe of, I'm going to push through this and I'm going to make this happen, very masculine-oriented energy. Like I'm going to manipulate this players in the situation and try to force something to happen. I don't sense that at all. It's more of, okay, This is what's in front of my eyes at this moment, and I'm bare to it. I'm opening myself bare to this because I'm being shown this for a reason, and damn it, I can handle whatever this is, because truth be told, it wouldn't be coming my way unless I could handle it. And it isn't also, I want to be careful here, because it also isn't an overconfidence. It's the fact that you're vulnerable, and people love the fact that you're just real in showing, either whether it's a breakdown or a breakthrough, whatever, anything on that spectrum. They love that what they see is very real and true. You're not putting on a face, but there is always an undercurrent with your vibe to be celebrated here. The magnetism within you. There is something that is very consistent about wanting to make clear that I just always rise. I always rise. I'm always becoming more. Situations help me to become more. And something I'm thinking about that's coming to the forefront for you is basically, there's a philosophy that everything has purpose in life, and that purpose is always to make us more, to make us want more for ourselves. And honestly, sometimes we just don't know it until we're in something that really doesn't feel good, or something that makes us feel really high, really like you've just climbed a mountain and you can see farther than you've ever been able to see. And that feeling is the breakthrough moment, is when you have broken through a barrier that was put there most likely by yourself. And you just are a person that believes in becoming more. And this is the magnetism that other people benefit from as well, and they can feel it and see it within you. You always rise. Beautiful. All right, everybody. There's your reading for this week. I hope you're enjoying. I don't know if you can hear the wind chimes going. The fairies are all here with you this week, and sending their love to you, and their appreciation of these aspects of what makes you, what allows others to feel magnetized to you. We all have a role, a persona that we fulfill here on Earth, and connection. I just can't think of anything more important. Connection with another in any capacity is so life-giving, affirming for all of us. So enjoy your Valentine's Day, and I celebrate these aspects in you. Bye-bye for now.